there are very few things that are existential crisis within hours, even within minutes, right? And so the idea that everyone in the company and all of your customers, et cetera, can have immediate demand from you or responses from you as the owner is not a good expectation, because then it means that you're on demand for everyone else's needs, but the business needs you. And so I'll give you a story to drive this home. So at my first gym, I had just started sleeping not at my gym, which was wonderful for me. And so right as I get my first few nights of sleep, I get a call that everybody hates at 5:30 in the morning, because that's when sessions happen. And I was like, hello, what's going on? And he said, I've got bad news. And I immediately go to, someone died from a heart attack in our gym. That was immediately went there. And I'm just silent. And I was like, what is it? And then he says, there's a water pipe that broke and it's leaking on the floor. And I was like, okay, what do you want me to do? He's like, well, I don't know what to do. So I called you. And I said, well, what do you think I'm going to do? He's like, I guess call a plumber. And I was like, okay, what would I do in the meantime? He's like, probably get a bucket. I was like, yeah. I was like, have you done that? He was like, well, no, I called you. I was like, okay, well, why don't you do those first two things? Because there's nothing I can do. There's a story of Eleanor Roosevelt, I think, when I think someone in her family died in the middle of the night. She gets woken up by her servant or whatever, however they did it back then. And he says, Mrs. Roosevelt, I have some terrible news. And it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. And she's like, what is it? He's like, your cousin, John died. And she said, that could have waited till morning. There's nothing I can do about it. And so there's very few things that will actually kill a business. And so if you allow everything to be urgent, it means that everything's a priority, which means nothing is. And priorities literally mean prior. They come first. And I literally prioritize my day by the things that matter most. And so I start my day, I do prior to my day the thing that I think will actually move the ball forward. Because when I look back at my last month to see the progress that I've made, I never think about, Susan, who I had to give a refund to because she was dissatisfied for something, or we got a 1-star review and we need to, deal with that. Or, our chat support went down for, 2 hours in the middle of the day. And people were like, why did the chat support? None of these things are existential crises for the business in the short term. There's almost nothing that kills a business in the short term. And the only real thing is that your payment processing goes down. So your ability to accept money goes away. But beyond that, there's not a lot of stuff. And so what you have to get comfortable with is letting some fires burn and being able to say, yes, this sucks, but not getting the important work done will suck more. And so I spend, and I still do this, the first 4 to 6 hours of my day working on the things that I believe matter most. And I think that if I had a single habit that has gotten me the furthest in my life, it's that I work uninterrupted for the first 4 to 6 hours of my day on the things that I think have the highest leverage in the business.